Top story this evening. A church in Uptown New Orleans would typically have a pretty full sanctuary on any given Sunday morning like today. But instead of preaching today, the pastor was cleaning up. A fire broke out at the 168-year-old church Friday morning. Erica Ferrando has the story.
Last Sunday, inside the Austerlitz Street Baptist Church, Pastor Sherman Washington preached about problems and trials serving as a test.
I'm so glad that trouble, it don't last always. I thank God for that.
Yes, Lord.
I always say, I hope I reach somebody this morning. I didn't realize that I would have to depend on that sermon myself to keep my spirits and my hopes up.
Because this Sunday, Pastor Washington isn't here in a suit and he's not delivering a sermon.
I'm used to coming on Sunday mornings, preparing for my sermon for the church service. And this morning, it's, God is able.
In a t-shirt and rubber boots, he's cleaning up his church in ashes after it caught fire Friday morning.
This is my office where it started from.
22 New Orleans Fire Department units responded to put out the fire. A NOFD spokesperson said 2 people say a fireball came from a pipe when they turned the lights on.
I don't know exactly what happened.
The church's pastor of 3 years shows extensive damage as flames spread through the attic, broke stained glass windows, and the water-damaged carpet has since been ripped out.
I went home, I cried for about 3 hours. And after I cried, it was like a funeral for the church. And after God spoke to my heart, now it's time to restore.
He's done it before. Due to damage from Ida, the church just got a new roof 3 weeks ago.
The first year was the pandemic. The second year was the storm. And this year, it was the fire.
Washington grew up here as his grandfather and uncle also pastored the church.
I sat in this office like 50 years ago when my grandfather was the pastor. And most young men grow up wanting to be a doctor and a lawyer, or airline pilot. I wanted to grow up and be a pastor like my grandfather. And God allowed me to pastor this great church. I'm sorry, right now it just hurt.
While cleanup and restoration will continue here in the main sanctuary, Pastor Washington says they will have Sunday church service again starting next Sunday right here in the fellowship hall.
And I'm gonna use these chairs, 5 on each side, and we're gonna have church in here on a Sunday morning like we're in a sanctuary.
And like every Sunday, Pastor Washington was inside his church.
That's our pastor.
I'll be back here tomorrow.
Cleaning up to rebuild and continue delivering messages of faith.
Now your faith have to come through the show that the same God that brought you through the last storm is gonna bring you through this storm.
And remembering the sermon he preached last Sunday.
Oh, it's only a test.
Come on.
It's only
A test.
a test.
Erica Ferrando, Eyewitness News.
And thankfully, no one was injured in that fire. Pastor Washington doesn't know how long restoration will take or how much it will cost.